Well,
Well,
I
it
just want to say that that goes specifically to what Marcus was talking about. For men, when we grow, our expectation is not necessarily for you to come up with us. Our expectation is more for you to, as we grow, understand that your role inside of what I'm building here at this house may change. Whereas, what if your current husband didn't want to do that extra stuff, and then you have to go say something to him, and he doesn't really want to do it? So what typically happens is a woman will, for lack of a better word, in her mind, simply leave him behind because he's not able to keep up, and he's not trying to elevate himself. We don't, most men don't process that way. We're not thinking about it from a, I got to bring her up, so we're always at the at this certain level. We don't think that way, and we understand that, yo, I'm growing, so now I'm a store manager looking to become a general manager, and what I need now from you is to make sure our kid is on school at time on time, picked up on time. Uh, you've done his lunch. You're gonna have dinner ready. Like your role, like you may not even be working as many hours. It's just one of those things where we're not trying to elevate you. Like we don't think you need to elevate the same way, but y'all look at it as dating, or you you you're dating someone lower than you, or you're married to someone lower than you, and we typically don't process that way. And if we are processing that way, if you're not already, let's say, yoked with that type of mindset, we're likely not even going to marry you if that is the way we see things. We're not. Women will look at that potential and say, "Oh, you can do this, babe. I need you to come up here with me," and we just don't. We really don't think like that on the whole.
so mistaken. You said something really important towards the end, um, that you didn't have to ask him to do it. And I think that's the fundamental part about what we're talking about, is that he already has that growth mindset. That's behavior he already engages in. It's part of his personality. And if I'm honest, from knowing you, I think that's part of what drew you to him, right? What we're talking about with the power struggle is when a man does not have that mindset, and women imposing that on him when he didn't sign up to be that person.
Yeah, I think a perfect example is we watched the video on Thursday where the dude was kind of labeled as weird and they were talking to him. I don't know if y'all remember the video. He asked his girl not to follow the other guys anymore. Like he told his girl she had to unfollow some of the people that were her business mentors. So like I went and looked into the video. Me and Oz and Nani, we all looked into this video, right? And inside the video, you see his name is Sleepers for the Week or something like that. Everything he talks about is leveling up nonstop. That guy that was sitting on the couch did not want to level up. So I believe, I don't have personal information, but in my belief, he that influence from those guys who were saying something that is a positive message interacted within his relationship so negatively that he was like, you know what, you need to don't follow them no more, because I'm not trying to deal with that. He I want sleep in my life. He doesn't believe in sleep. I want a standard of life that does not revolve around materialism. He only believes in materialism. And while he's influencing you and you're holding me to the standard of this, man, this relationship is doomed. And they eventually broke up from what I heard. But that's what we're saying. Now, if you reverse those roles, I don't see too many men telling a woman, you can't sleep. You need to be da-da-da-da-da. He'll become abusive at that point if he was driving on her to do exactly what he doing and the way he doing it. All the other men are telling him, like, she not a man, bro. Why are you trying to drive her like that? Like you it's fine if you want to stay up 20 hours a day, sleep 4, and just keep grinding. But you put that expectation on a woman is just crazy. You can't, that's just not fair. And people would say you were in an abusive relationship the way they talk now, if he was forcing you to do that.
Yeah,
So
it's hard for me to understand the notion that just because your finances, your degrees change, that means that the dynamic has to change per se. Because, say, for instance, you know, so your woman has a doctorate, right? And say, for instance, the man, he doesn't have a degree. He don't care nothing about a degree. He don't even see that as a realm that he want to go into, right? He make his coins. He finds his thing outside this, that, and the third. Why is it that we keep coming back to the same point of making things competitive that we shouldn't be competing in? Because oftentimes when people make money, especially the men make money, listen, a lot of brothers will take their money and handle everything if they could, right? We already established that. When they got women that make money, they basically some brothers be like, just do what you want with the money. Maybe put some money off to the side and do whatever. Like we're not even holding women to the same standard as men. But when we get into these conversations and stuff like that, it's like, well, I got education. Why you can't get education? Like the way that brothers pull a women up, from my perspective and what I think, we pull you up from a character standpoint. Now, if we got a way to um make you make money, and we got an easy way, oh girl, that's an easy way for you to get some bread. Just do this and you can get that bread. We will put you on game. We ain't got no problem with that. I think that this is where we fundamentally keep having the problem is because, and I'm just guessing, I'm just a guy. I think where we keep fundamentally having a problem because the way that a man looks at a woman, we're not looking at what she produces for the world and everybody else and stuff like that. We're not looking at that the way that we're looking at ourselves. So as long as you have a character and integrity and you're a person that I'm like, yo, I like being around you to some degree. We don't care if you became a millionaire. We don't care. This stuff don't become a competition. But for some reason, when money keeps getting involved and stuff like that, and certain men's competitive nature, I do agree. There is some credence to the quote unquote, what's it called? Insecurity conversation. It might not necessarily be insecurity, but if a man is naturally competitive, he gonna see you getting more status and more money as a shot at him, right? There's some level of insecurity there. It's not super deep or anything like that, but he's gonna be like, "Hey, what you not about to do is look better than me, right?" And you got that brother that's gonna make that transition. But too many times we look at degrees and money as if I'm better than the person that I picked to be in a relationship with. And when you look at too many brothers, we not looking at y'all as something that we got to continuously send you to the stratosphere of status. We just want y'all to be what we want y'all to be, and that's it.
But
And
see,
so,
go ahead, Shan. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so I think that you're trying to compare women to men, and we're not the same. So you're right, because men focus more on looks, and women may not. There are things that women do that men don't do, and until we understand that we're just different, you know, we are not you, and you are not us. So we're not gonna think the same, you
But
know.
what I was going to say is that I think sometimes too, men, because men are competitive by nature, that I think sometimes they misconstrue what women are doing as competition.
It's
And it's
not.
not. A lot of times women don't even know we're competing. We have no idea. So, like you said, HD is like even actually somebody made in the comments when I was saying, when I had went back to school and then I went and got another. It was when I was going to school. It had nothing to do with my husband. Period. That was just a personal goal that I had of my own that I set. He supported me in that goal, and he decided, you know what? Let me step my game up too. You know what I'm saying? So whether I can't say I influenced him or whatever, I don't know what it is, but he, like, I say he does have a growth mindset. And that was a place in which he felt, you know what, let me do better in this area. Let me step up or whatever. I don't know what his rationale was for, but he did it. Now, somebody in the chat was like, and then I said, if he does something, he's reading, say, oh, babe, what you reading? Then I go and I might try to learn a little bit about it, so that way I can have a conversation about it, and vice versa. So I pull him up, he pull me up somewhere. That's not competing. I think men interpret certain things a certain way. That's a competition. To me, I love that about our relationship, because we challenge each other to do better. So if you want to call that a competition, I guess that would be healthy competition. Not
Yeah,
everything needs to
challenging
be.
each
I was
other to do
not done
better, I
in my
think, is the definition of
conversation. I just
competition.
got real.
Say
Like,
that again,
can I
Marcus.
finish my conversation?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because you just talked right on us. So, what I was trying to say is everybody's different, right? People have what they value. We just talked about the video prior. There are some guys who like to talk about, they like to brag on their women, right? You find what works, what's the added value, and this goes into our next topic actually. What is the added value to what it is that you value in your partner, period? What is it that, I guess guys say, what do you bring into the table? It can look so different to so many people. Okay, so yeah, she may not look at you as the money thing. Guys may look at a woman and say, you know what, I don't care about her career. You may care more about looks. Okay, you may care more about the fact that she's in the kitchen cooking for you. You may care more about the fact that she's doing homely things, like more feminine things, right? Those are the things that you care about. Those are the things that you put on a priority. Whereas a woman may be like, I don't care if he cooks. I don't care if he does these things, because those are naturally not what men do, right? So we have differences in what we value. But it could be women who may say, no, I want him to cook. It may be a whole role reversal, as people would say. So you have to know what you're dealing with, what value that person adds to your life. How does that person fit in you? And unfortunately, there are some people who some people are intellectually stimulated. They get turned on by being with a boss. They get turned on. That's what their main attraction. Like, dang, he's so sexy. He runs a company. Like, that turns some people on. It turns some people on when he's super smart. They like the intellect, a guy who's so much smarter than them. You have to figure out what you like. And there are some people who are the complete opposite. She don't want none of that. She like a guy who was in the field, like that construction worker. Did you see him? Like, people like different things. You just have to know what works for you, what adds value to your life, and what, it's not a one size fits all for anybody.